My first question.
Go ahead.
Would you consider yourself red pill?
Never in a million years.
Never.
Never in
Why?
a million years.
Why?
I think to me, first and foremost, I think I don't subscribe to any man-made ideology
Okay.
because I think a lot of these ideologies put you in a box.
Mhm.
So I do subscribe to religion, and people can argue whether that's man-made or not.
Mhm.
Yeah, aren't isn't every ideology man-made? It takes a man to think of a certain way to live, and it spreads from there, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but these ideologies don't come out of nowhere. Like people think them up.
That's gonna be a great conversation, great debate. You get a guy like Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson had a great debate about
Mhm.
that. But in regards to man-made ideologies, I don't really subscribe to them as much, and I don't like to identify myself with something that somebody else has conjured up with their own personal opinion. And
Mhm.
so I think in regards to the red pill is a very interesting space, a lot of interesting characters there, and I think the biggest challenge to me is the phrase that they use is that we're all we're doing is trying to share the truth about fill in the blank, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
to me, it's very, very arrogant as a human being to say I myself am the orator of the truth.
Mhm.
I know the truth. My studies are the accurate studies.
Mhm.
My ideas are the accurate ideas. I am the only individual who
Mhm.
knows these things. And so to me, that ideology seems very cult like,
Mhm.
in my opinion.
Mhm.
If you believe in them, they give you praise words like, oh, yo, you're red pilled, you're an alpha male, right?
Uh-huh.
And if you disagree with them, they give you the curse words, right? You are blue pilled, you are a beta male, right?
Are you talking about like the comments section?
I'm just
Yeah, I
talking
think
about
you're
just the
talking about the
idea of the
minority of
Okay.
philosophy, right?
motherfuckers in
Okay.
So
there.
the people who subscribe to their worldview are red pill individuals, right?
Uh-huh.
Their minds have been opened up to the truth, right? And
Mhm.
the people who disagree with their ideas are considered blue pill, right? You have
Mhm.
rejected the truth, i.e., the matrix, right? The
Uh-huh.
guy in the matrix, he said, I want to go back in the machine, even though I know
Uh-huh.
it. I want to go back in the machine. So to me, that seems very cult-like in regards to the ideology. And so there's a lot of different reasons why I don't subscribe to it. But those are the few things. I just cannot hold myself to an ideology that a certain
Mhm.
individual or individuals are communicating
Mhm.
without understanding the fullness of those
I would argue that most religions are cult-like.
ideas.
Mhm. Yeah, because they would say it's a praxeology, not an ideology.
Yeah, it's very easy to use words like that, but
Uh-huh.
then you break down what does that mean?
Yeah. So my question to you is like, what specifically do you disagree with?
Great question. So when people say things like, okay, we're not an ideology, we're a praxeology,
Uh-huh.
right? You have to ask yourself, are you teaching any ideas?
Uh-huh.
Like, is there any principles that your belief system is teaching? Because every human being's belief system
Mhm. Mhm.
teaches an ideas, right?
Mhm.
And so for me, when I see that there are certain ideas and premises that are being taught,
Mhm.
therefore you cannot simply say we are not an ideology. There's no ideals that
Mhm.
represent the
Mhm.
things that we believe. And so an example of what are some of the things I disagree with, I think I primarily disagree with a lot of times the descriptions of marriage
Okay.
and just how they analyze and describe marriage in today's world. I think I disagree with the
Mhm.
analysis of male female nature. I think if you were to read a book like The Evolution of Desire by Dr. David Buss,
Mhm.
he's a world leading expert on human evolutionary psychology in regards to mating,
Mhm.
and he's fantastic. Buss School of Psychology is amazing,
Mhm.
and you actually read a person who's like a world-renowned expert on this topic,
Mhm.
and you hear about all the nuance. And I love Dr. Buss because Dr.
Mhm.
Buss understands the nuance and the cross-cultural studies
Mhm.
and so much data. And you were to read some of the more red pill,
Mhm.
doctrinal books, you'll be like, wow, like it's literally like reading Dr. Seuss and reading something like Hamlet.
Mhm.
It's like night and day difference. And so
Mhm.
to me, I think I I I acknowledge that a lot of their
Bro, he's so long-winded, bro. Like it's an issue. Like it's really a problem. But you know, y'all told me this. Watch this. I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? But bruh, like get to the. I already got his point, but it's like you keep giving description of the after description after description of the point you're trying to make.
ideas are truthful, like
Mhm.
any ideology, right?
Mhm.
Or whatever the heck word they're using nowadays to convince people that's not an
Mhm.
ideology.
Mhm.
Yes, those things are, there's truthfulness in it,
Mhm.
but there's a whole lot of lies and a whole lot of
Mhm.
information that is not statistically accurate.
Mhm.
And that's why I've always recommended people to
Mhm.
read books like The Evolution of Desire by Dr. David Buss, and then simply then read whatever red pill literature that you want and juxtapose those two
Mhm.
ideas, and you'd be extremely astonished at the differences.
Well, it's
So
just
basically, he said he can't provide any reasons. He pretty much just said like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Just Pearl asked him like, "What do you disagree with?" And he didn't. He said he guess he disagrees with the ideologies of marriage and female and male nature. Right? Why you disagree with it? Well, I'm not gonna tell you why. But if you read these books, they'll explain to you why. All right.
because everything you're saying is very broad.
Yeah.
So you even said like their teachings on marriage, because like from my understanding of red pill is that they're not anti-marriage or pro-marriage, they're anti-marriage as it is today and the way the laws are today. And do you disagree with that?
So I'm gonna give you an example,
Okay.
and I'm excited because I'm really excited about the way you're processing this.
Yeah.
So let's go into marriage. So here's a fundamental challenge. Okay.
Mhm.
So red pill is
Okay.
very broad, right?
Really? I don't think so, actually.
You don't think so?
No.
So do you think a person like Alpha Male Strategies
Mhm.
teaches the same exact ideas as Coach Greg Adams?
I know more about Alpha Male Strategies than Coach Greg Adams. I
Okay.
haven't watched a lot of Coach Greg.
Okay.
AMS, he's like the fuck these hoes to sleep type.
Yeah, but he's evolved.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
old school AMS.
I don't know. If a guy tells me he watches AMS, I'm like, I gotta
Yeah,
run.
yeah, but even to that point, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you're like, I gotta run.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of there's individuals like Steffes Cole. I'm not sure if Steffes Cole still calls
Uh-huh.
himself Red Pill, but you have the Steffes Cole guys.
Right.
A lot different than Coach Red Pill.
Okay.
A lot different.
Okay.
So what I'm articulating is that within the red pill umbrella,
Yeah.
there's a diversity of individuals.
Yeah.
There's far right, there's guys who are a
Yeah.
little bit more balanced. So what usually happens when we're having this conversation, which we require so much nuance, and I'm glad we're able to dive into it, is that when you're describing the red pill, what people want to do is one of two things. You either want to steel man them or you want to straw man them.
Mm-hmm.
The argument that you're probably feeling like, and some
Mhm.
people may feel like, is I straw man them, right? You pick the worst ideas of the red pill,
Mhm.
the worst content creators, and then you define the red pill as that.
Uh-huh.
But then on the flip side is a steel man,
Uh-huh.
where you find some of their best, brightest ideas,
Uh-huh.
ignore all the negativity, nonsense
Mhm.
ideas, and then define that as a red pill.
No, I mean, to me, it's
It
like
ain't that fucking serious, bro. Like, it's not that complex. The argument is that there's different content creators who talk about red pill in different ways. Valid. Nothing is cut and dry, man. It's like everybody has their perspective on what it is. Red pill is fucking truth, and everybody attacks truth differently. But fuck what I'm saying about it. Like, the elephant in the room, not even the elephant in the room, like, bruh, this is really, really hard for me to get through. Bro, it's like he's talking to people like they're idiots. He's talking, but I guess that's the best way to deliver a message, is to talk like you're talking to someone who doesn't know anything about what you're talking about, man. But people within the red pill community are all up on the learning curve of what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? But it's like he breaking it down to like the basic of the basic of the basic, he's talking to Just Pearl like she's an idiot. You know what I mean?
there's a base.
Like, he thinks he's very. I can't help it. The way he's talking is making me judge him. Like, bro, he thinks he's the smartest in the room.
Sense ideas, and then define that as a red pill.
No, I mean, to me, it's like there's a base set of ideas, and people have different ideas of what to do with
Who
it.
defines the base set of ideas?
I would say that I think that's mostly who defines the base. I would say Rollo Tomasi. I think he seems to be like leading that like today, but before it seems like it was Patrice O'Neal possibly.
So you think Patrice O'Neal was?
No, I think a lot of like It seems like a lot of ideas derived from him, but it seems like it goes around Rollo Tomasi. That's what
Yeah.
it seems like.
So the interesting part of the conversation,
Yeah.
going back to the red pill conversation,
Yeah.
because I know you want to talk about this, is that there is no single source. There's no doctrinal source. There's a lot of individuals who've written their books and shared their ideas as red pill, and depending on what school of thought you're in, a lot of individuals will say, well, that's not red pill for me. He's not red pill for me. Maybe in your world, he's red pill for you. And some people red pill for them might be Coach Greg Adams. People red pill for them might be Fresh and Fit. People red pill for them might be AMS. People red pill for them might be Coach Red Pill. Some people red pill for them might
But
be.
they all seem to say the same ideas.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
it's
like, so I'm just like, if we're gonna say they're different, like what is different?
okay. So in regards to each individual, I can't get into the nuances of each individual. So there are some individuals who are, when it comes to marriage, are explicitly marriage. I think the whole institution of marriage in the Western world is done. It's over. It doesn't work. It's a failed system. X, Y,
I agree.
X, Y, and
Yeah.
Z. Cool. So that's why
Yeah.
why red pill
Yeah.
aligns to you, because
Yeah.
those emotional sentiments rock with you.
Uh-huh.
So then there's
Not
other
emotional. It's because of the way it is legally.
100%.
Yeah.
So those legal sentiments
Yeah.
rock with you,
Yeah.
and we can get into
Okay.
how does those things fleshed out.
Uh-huh.
But then on the flip side, which you have other individuals who say, well, in actuality, well, I do believe that in the sanctity and the beauty of marriage, and if you're gonna do marriage outside of the state, I'm all for it, right? So yeah, some people is like, even with or without the state, institution is broken, women are broken, society is broken, doesn't even matter. Then some people are like, well, outside of the state,
Yeah.
I support it, I agree with
Well,
it.
it
So there's
seems like
nuance in
it
that.
seems like their prescriptions are different, but their description is the same.
Yeah, but-
Typically. So like they'll say these are the flaws in women, these are the flaws in marriage, but like they have different prescriptions. So some people will still go through with it with a prenup, and other people will say screw it all
Yeah,
together.
and so prescribing a
Bruh, I'm struggling. I'm struggling, bruh. Red pill is not that fucking serious. All red pill is waking men up to what the hell is going on, and you do with what you want with that information, right? Making men aware. You know what I'm saying? Trying to equip you with the ammunition you need to, get out of these situations, or enter in these situations as informed as you can possibly be to save your well-being, dog. And however the fuck that shit looks to you is what it's gonna be. Do with this information what you will. And like Jess Pearl hit the nail on the head. They prescribe it differently. You got radical motherfucking red pillars. You got, softer red pillars. But at the end of the day, it's still red pill. You just awake, bro. It ain't just fucking serious. God damn.
a behavior
Yeah.
is telling people what to do.
Uh-huh.
And telling people what to do also creates a form of an ideology.
Uh-huh.
So if I say I have 10 rules that I believe men should follow, and then say I have no ideology, that doesn't make any sense. So to me, an ideology isn't a bad thing. I have an ideology. You have an ideology. Every human has an ideology. So my biggest argument is not that the ideology is bad, but don't lie and say that you don't have an ideology when we all have an ideology. So in regards to your original question about the red pill, I believe a lot of what they say is half truths. And like I said, for example, if you really analyze human and male nature and female nature, there's a lot of really dark and disturbing things about female nature when you can get to the rawness of it, right?
Yeah.
And if you were an individual and you were simply communicating those raw, dark truths about what is true, it could be very simple to realize that, wow, man, these are really, really bad things.
I'll give you an example. Felons have 30% more children than non-felons.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I don't. So you just threw out a number.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. You have nothing to back it up. So another example is, I'm sorry, we got to stop there. What happens in this community? What happens with the people who have this school of thought? They'll throw out numbers. Where did that stat come from?
Where did it come from?
Where did it come from?
Off the top of my head, I don't know, but it's easy to Google.
I know
like
it's
if you,
easy-
it's
I know
like
it's
if you
easy-
Google it, it's like at the top of Google.
It's easy to Google, right?
Yeah.
But the reality of the matter is, when people are sharing their statistics and numbers, a lot of times they don't know. They can't even tell you the primary source. So,
Right, because
But you got Google though, bro. Just look it up. Why the fuck I gotta give you the source? I'm not a fucking. What part of the book is that? Where all the references are? I mean, you want me to fucking you my motherfucking English teacher, bro? Are you my English professor? I gotta cite every fucking source to stats I'm providing for you, bro. You got a smartphone. You know, you heard the fucking stat I said. If you question it, Google it, bro. Google it. Don't put the burden on me. Google it.
Because it's like off the top of your head, you're
A
not gonna
hundred,
know
a
like
hundred
like
percent.
right
But
then.
why should I believe
Unless,
you? Why should I believe you?
yeah, okay, but if I'm saying if I got you the stat, I could look it up now.
I know
but
you can look.
Yeah.
You can take your time. You can pause the episode.
Yeah,
You can look
yeah,
it
yeah.
up. But my point is that a lot of times in this community, they'll throw statistics and data at you.
Mhm.
You're not privy to the statistics and data.
Yeah.
Some of it is true. Some of it is false. Right.
Uh-huh.
And I can go into some of the truths and false as well.
I don't know if I can get through this, bro. I'm gonna try, man. I'm gonna try, dog. Cause like I don't know this fool like that. Not at all, really, bro. But he's annoying. He's annoying as shit. Like it's irritating me to the point where it's taking me off topic. You know what I'm saying? He long-winded as shit, trying to go into these deep-ass, complex explanations, bro. He's got this fake-ass Jordan Peterson energy. Like, he thinks he's smart as fuck. And you're not saying nothing. And, like, what you're saying right now is, like, you give me a stat. Why should I believe you? Come on, man. What type of fucking juvenile shit is that to goddamn say? I'm not, like, trying to get a gotcha moment, bro. Why should I believe you? You ain't got to believe me. Look it up your fucking self. And what he's talking about can be relayed in just society in general, where people say all types of shit, run with fucking narratives and read shit, and it's the same shit as somebody reading some crazy shit in the headline and running with the story, spreading this shit like wildfire, right? When it would behoove that motherfucker to actually look up where the information came from before you start spewing bullshit. That's the problem. It's not on the fucking messenger. People do that shit all the goddamn day. You would hope motherfuckers are giving you accurate information, but if you question it, look it up yourself and then call motherfuckers out after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not gonna be fucking sitting here giving you sources to shit. That's the problem. Google it. Confirm the information yourself. Don't just run with shit you fucking hear. Research it your fucking self. All right. Fuck. Try to get through this shit, bro. This is rough.
And so because you're not able to simply look things up,
You're
in a conversation where you're like, okay, I'm gonna give this person the benefit of the doubt. But if the data is simply skewed by sheer numbers, it can totally dispel whether this person's communicating the truth or not.
Yeah, but it's easy to just like Google it.
I know, but what I'm saying is, listen carefully.
If
you and I are
listen carefully, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Listen carefully, dog. That's like condescending, bro. Like, he think that was cringy, bro. That was cringy as fuck. Ooh, bro.
Podcast conversation, and you have 15 data points that justify your worldview, but you don't know the source. You know the primary, secondary source. We could stop this episode, and every time you pull up numbers, we could look at it. You can look them up. You can pull them up. You can show it to me. But that's going to take too long. So usually in conversations like this, you're not able to do so. So therefore, what you're forced to do in these conversations is whenever someone gives you a statistic, the individual's called to believe it.
No, it's not, bruh. Get the fuck out of here, dog. What? That is the weakest bullshit ever, bruh. We ain't got enough time for me to fucking call out the cap if you talking bullshit. So you ain't forced to believe nothing. That's the softest shit ever, bruh. If you don't believe it, take the fucking time to Google it. That's the softest shit ever, bruh. We're forced to run with it. I'm forced to believe you. You're not forced to believe anything. That's a reflection upon you and your lack of confirming shit that you hear. You know what I'm saying? You should run with the mind state of not believing everything you hear. If it bothers you that much, or if you're upset with the statistic that much, Google it. Google it.
And I've seen that happen myself because I'm a data person as well. You've consumed my content, so you know some of it. I'm a data person myself, so when I share data, there's times where I was like, "Oh well, that number was wrong."
And I see what he means too. Like that's what he's saying is an issue, but to confine it to just the red pill space is what I have an issue with, dog. Because that happens everywhere. That is one of the biggest problems we have in society, especially with social media. People running with narratives, running with headlines, running with misinformation. You know what I'm saying? That's a big problem we have, and not just the fucking red pill. So at the end of the day, it's not on the creators or the people who provide these statistics. It's the motherfuckers consuming it. If you're gonna run with these facts, make sure it's a fact and not just hearsay. But to attack red pill because people can't confirm or confirm statistics and provide sources for statistics. So, red pill is fucked up. Come on, dog. Get the fuck out of here.
Wrong. But because we're in the middle of a conversation, people simply believe me.
Yeah.
And so to me,
Which is fine, then you just update it.
I know,
Yeah.
but in the midst of the conversation, when we're having these conversations and when we're sharing all these data,
Yeah.
a lot of people will spew data and numbers
I
that
understand.
they don't even
Sometimes-
they don't
yeah,
it could be
It's
truly
not that big of
false.
a
I
problem.
understand sometimes misinformation happens.
100%,
Like, yeah,
and it's not
understand.
perfect. I'm not saying you're trying to deceive me,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is that there has to be a level of accountability
Uh-huh.
when we're saying this is the truth.
Uh-huh.
So for one of the things that I've been improving on in regards to my speech is that if I share a number, if I really don't know the primary source or I'm not willing to pull it up immediately,
Mhm.
right, I'll say, well, you know what, I think this is the number, or I'm not
Uh-huh.
sure this is the number.
Uh-huh.
But what
And YouTubers do that shit a lot now, too.
happens is when you say 110%, this is true. The divorce rate in America is 50%.
Uh-huh.
It's true. And then
Uh-huh.
you share these explicit narratives.
Okay.
And then when you simply analyze them and break them down, you realize that's not the case.
Yeah, but then you switch it. But I don't think it's wrong to just say a number.
It's nothing wrong.
And then I look it up and it's right. Like I've looked that up before.
But that's not what I think you're getting lost. You're getting lost in the specific point. I'm talking about the meta point. The meta point is that when people are communicating statistics, the audience is totally dependent upon the orator. And if that person says, I am the bearer of the truth, a lot of times in the midst of a conversation, a lot of people communicate numbers that may or may not be true.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing is that when a lot of these individuals are communicating numbers, I'm the kind of person where I'm like, hey, let's stop, let's analyze them, and let's see
All right, come on, next point.
If you
Next
see 90,
point.
a lot of
Is there a common talking point that isn't true that you're thinking of?
I think one of the biggest conversations that is not discussed is how marriage has changed from the 90s till today.
Okay, go on.
If you look up the divorce rates, divorce rates have been decreasing from the 1990s until today. There's a lot of different studies and a lot of different analyzation.
Go on.
A lot of different. So, are you listening or are you trying to talk?
I'm listening.
I'm curious.
I'm listening.
Because you kind of seem like you're waiting for me to stop talking so you can say something.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Passive aggressive ass.
Okay.
Bruh.
So, in regards to the divorce numbers, a lot of the divorce numbers that are communicated today, they're not all. Those are a lot of previous numbers.
I can't do this shit no more. I can't do this shit no more, bro. If y'all really want me to fucking watch this shit, man, give me a timestamp, dog. This motherfucker is killing me. Killing me, like condescending, the passive aggressiveness, like he thinks he's smarter than just Pearl. Pearl probably said, like, if this was a football game and time of possession was talking out of an hour, Hafiz's time of possession has probably been 55 minutes and just Pearl 5 minutes, bro. It's like, god damn, bro. That's